Well, hello, welcome. I am so glad you joined me here at Unity of Olympia. I am Lisa Petrich, your youth director, and we are continuing our lessons on finding your Zen. We have a good lesson here for you today on rainbow breaths and on your fears, working with our fears and how we're going to transform them to love. We're going to transform them to love. So if you go ahead and pray with me, we got our little candle and we have our prayer guys. And the prayer guys remind us just to be mindful and to go within. And the candle is there to remind us of the light that's within ourselves and every one of you. So please pray with me. Thank you, Spirit, for bringing us here together today. May we live, love, and grow from one another. May we be present, may we be present and mindful of our own self-awareness. And our quote today is from a famous author, Marianne Williamson, who also ran for president this year. In a choice between love and fear, choose love. I think that's great advice. In a choice between love and fear, choose love. And our mindfulness tool, and notice those fall leaves that were there with her, and we have some more fall leaves here. Our mindfulness tool is about the leaves. It's about how pretty they are. They have some yellows and some color. Our mindfulness tool is being aware of nature. We've been talking about these leaves the past few weeks. We've been talking about how we've been seeing the colors, and the trees have just been beautiful, and some of them are just bursting with majestic color. They just look majestic with their reds and their yellows. And so we really want to honor them this time. I even have one that's just about as big as my face. I can hide behind it. And maybe you have some of these too. But what you want to do, I just found these around my neighborhood. And what you want to do is take some time to maybe do a little, and this looks like a scribble from here, but take it and do a leaf rubbing. Have some fun with finding the veins of the leaf and bringing out the color, and maybe do some of the leaves in your favorite color. And like I did this one in purple. It's one of my favorite colors. And you can just explore it a little bit. I would suggest, even this I did kind of quickly, I would suggest slowing down and really doing it mindfully to help it to come out nicer, and to just really honor the leaf that's there. And to just have fun with it. Have fun with it. All right, so we are going to move on to our card front. Our card today is about a rainbow breath. A rainbow breath is when you take and you put your palms up and you bring up and you're thinking about a rainbow, creating a rainbow with those arms. It is a way to match your breath with movement. And when you do that, you give yourself energy it says steady your mind and your body. This exercise requires a little space though, so you want to make sure you have room around you. And we are going to think about a rainbow. So when you look at the back of this card, it really shows the visual of the rainbow that comes out with this. Now, I want to go ahead and lead it with this Go Noodle video, because the Go Noodle video really helps to see that rainbow.
We can use our bodies to change how we feel. This exercise will teach you how to raise your energy and face your day. Close your eyes or keep them open. Have fun with it. Sit tall. You can be on the ground with your legs crossed, or sitting at the front edge of your chair with your feet flat on the floor. Let your arms hang down at your sides. Open and close your hands a couple times to warm up your body. Now turn the palms of your hands so that they're facing forward, and stretch your fingers long. Keeping your arms straight, slowly float them up from your sides. Feel how wide your hands can reach, to the side and then up. Reach a little higher if it feels okay for your body. Now let your arms come down and return to your sides. This time, if we match our breathing with our movement, it might help us to feel more alert, calm, more energized, and in control. Notice how you feel when you add your breath to your movement. Turn your palms out and reach wide for a bigger rainbow. Fill with air the whole way up. And if you need to take another breath at any time, go ahead. Do that. It's all good. Once your arms are up, go ahead and exhale. Relax up there. Enjoy the rainbow. Your rainbow has faded away. Let's make another one as you come down.
I think that's enough. I think you get the visual, and you can take and if you ever want to go to Go Noodle, they have this great visual for you. It's a free site, and it gives you an opportunity to really calm down and to go within and be mindful of your breath, which is so important, as we have talked about before. So we're going to move on to our Made Out of Stars quote. Our Made Out of Stars quote says, "Perhaps everything that frightens us is, in its deepest essence, something helpless that wants our love." And that's from Rainier, Maria, and I think that's Rilke. Perhaps everything that frightens us is, in its deepest essence, something helpless that wants our love. I want to talk about our fears. So, different people have different fears. And I know everybody kind of feels it. So what's your fear? Maybe you have a fear of spiders, maybe you have a fear of snakes, maybe it's a fear of weather, like things that, are very windy, or tornadoes, or maybe it's just a fear of heights, being like way up high in the sky. And then there's those are kind of the outer fears, and then there's the inner fears. The inner fears are the ones that are maybe something that happened to us that make us feel that way, or maybe we were just kind of born with that fear. And that can be a fear such as something like being alone, or a fear of being left behind, or maybe a fear of the dark, maybe a fear of not being able to please people, or wanting people to like you. And those are the fears that we're going to talk about a little bit more today, because those are the fears I think that we can send love to. So a little easier to send love to ourselves and others when it's an emotional fear over a fear of something that is kind of out of our control sometimes. So I want to make sure that we understand that fear is just sometimes a reaction to a previous experience, or it's a call for love. So if someone around you is acting in a way that is some way that it doesn't feel good, and you're afraid of hurting their feelings, or they're afraid of hurting your feelings, we sometimes have to remember to say what we need, and to be able to put it into perspective, and to send love to the situation, and find a way to love that person, find a way to express gratitude for that person, find a way to show them how much you care. And that person could be your own self. If you are, sometimes we've talked about self-care before, and sometimes we aren't so nice to ourselves with that inner critic, and we have to do that for ourselves as well as others. So fear it's like there's fear and there's love. The Course in Miracles says, and that everything is either a fear or a love. It either comes from fear or love. And we want to make sure we choose love. We want to make sure we choose love. So using the earlier quote can give us perspective on the book Made Out of Stars. In a choice between love and fear, choose love. Simply put, we sometimes are afraid of the way people will react to us, or what they will think. And we sometimes have irrational fears, and that is when we are going to choose to love ourselves and those around us. So moving on this week, I want you to be aware of your fears when they arise. So if something comes up that feels uncomfortable, maybe ask yourself, what am I afraid of? And take out your journal page and put pen to paper and write. You're going to list 3 things that scare you. 3 things that scare you. How can you offer love to each one? Now this can be your outer fear, this is your choice. But how could you offer love to each one of those things that scare you? And that's from the journal Made Out of Stars by Mira Lee Patel. There's another quote, though, that helps us with fear that I want to share by Marianne Williamson, because that whole inner fear part and fear of success. This is our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? And actually, who are you not to be? Who are you not to be? So we're going to move on to our card front of Bob Sima. Let's see if we can get that going here. No, I think I might have gotten out of it. Let's see. No. Let's see if we can get that here. We're going to put a little more love in the world with Bob Sima and his music. He is an amazing musician that brings a lot of love through his music. And I just really appreciate how he has put together these cards and how he has made us or given us the tools that we need to put a little more love in this world. Yeah, that was our Bob Simon. Look at his card for today. It's called Love. His card is called Love. And it says, if you're the only one to believe, then stand up and set it free. If you are the only one to believe, stand up and set it free. Put a little more love in the world is the name of the album that it's on. And it's the title track of the album. So let's read the back of his card and what this means. Make sure to get the right click here. There we go. There's a force that is holding all of this together. Call it God, call it source, call it spirit, call it energy, call it love. It is not concerned with the label. It, in quotes, is not concerned with the label. It just is. It is the thread that weaves through all existence. When you get in touch with it, you are brought to your knees. So why not just call it love? Love is not just an emotion. It is the fabric of our existence. It is the thing itself. It is the animator and the illuminator of beauty. It is the blood and the guts of the heart and the heart-pounding, heart-wrenching experiences we call life on planet Earth. And we are conscious co-creators with it. We are in alliance with it at all times. Yet how often do we suppress, dampen, or cover it up? How about we let it go, give it away, and light up the whole world with every cell of our body? When we do, allow it to be reflected right back to us, 10,000-fold, 10,000-fold. So our commitment this week is every cell of my body is love. As I give it away, it returns 10,000-fold. I hope you can do that with me. We're going to give away that love. When our fears come up, we are going to do rainbow breaths when our big emotions come up, and it's going to be a good week. It's going to be a good week. We are already to the end of the lesson, and this is our closing. We always look at our 5 unity principles. So what did we talk about today that was part of unity principles? God is good and active in everything, everywhere. I am naturally good because God's divinity is in me and in everyone. I create my experiences by what I choose to think, what I feel and believe. Through affirmative prayer and meditation, I connect with God and bring out the good in my life. I do and give my best by living the truth I know. I make a difference. You can pick one of those and you can talk to someone about it and see which one do you think we covered today. Or which one do you want to work on this week? Maybe you want to do a little bit more prayer and meditation. Maybe you want to do a little bit more acknowledging of God in your life. So if you will close with me in the prayer for protection. And here we go. If you would close your eyes with me and say it. Unless you need to read it, then you can read it. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you for joining me here today. May you have a blessed week.